Live from the R&R studios in the good old friendly city, it's the Boys from the Wheel podcast.
What is going on, guys? Welcome into the Boys from the Wheel podcast here in the R&R studios. Well, I'm in the R&R studios. Everybody else is kind of on location today. But, boys, how we feeling? It's good to get back in the saddle again.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
Let's get rolling.
I got some stuff I got to say.
We'll get to that later on. But we want to get to today's guest. He's been a guest on the podcast a couple different times. Definitely a friend of the program for sure. Probably one of the fan favorites this year. One that we said he probably should have ran for mayor in Wheeling is Anthony Prevost. We want to bring in Vost to the show. Vost, how we feeling, brother?
What's going on, guys? Feeling good.
So you come in, you're fresh off of a championship. This is your second here in Wheeling now. What's that feel like for you?
It's a crazy feeling, man. It's a crazy feeling to know, to even be able to say that I'm 23-0 in that building, along with a few other guys that were part of the minors this year. So, I mean, it's a great feeling. Like I was saying before, it almost feels like a movie. Doesn't feel real, but it is, so that's something special to, be a part of for sure.
So let's talk about a little bit outside of arena football. What are the other things that you get into as far as, your different things that you get into? Because I know you got a ton to talk about, that's for sure.
Man, it's a bunch. Blessed to be able to do all the things that I'm doing. Well, first, one of the biggest things that I do outside of arena ball is I'm a college football coach over at Virginia Union University. So I'm a specialist coach there, and I help out with the special teams coordinator, also our running back coach and associate head coach, Diego Ryland. He's also one of my former coaches when I played back at Hampton. So got that going on. Been over there for 4 years. Been a great experience. We just recently won the CIAA championship, won our conference, and went on to Division II playoffs for our second year in a row. This past fall. So been 22 years since the school won the conference. So another part of history, something special. So I got that going on. Got my business, Superior Specialist. That helped to kind of get all of this stuff going, where I train kickers, punters, snappers, returners, holders, in various different parts of the craft, from, early ages, 8 all the way up to the professional level. So I've been doing that for about 15, 16 years or so, just kind of developing and getting better every year, traveling the country, helping out with other platforms, other coaches, running camps, doing combines, and, just kind of giving back and helping the kids and others kind of reach their goals and do some of the same things that I'm doing. As far as sports is concerned, that's that. I'm also a part of the National Scouting Combine, so I help out there with Jimmy Kibble. Blessed to be a part of that staff as well. Originally went out as a player, seeking to get a hold of my professional opportunity, and I guess Jimmy saw something special in me, so he kind of reached out and gave me the opportunity to help out and coach and assist with the offense, and now I'm the offensive coordinator for that event every year. So it's a great event, great opportunity for the guys. We do all the same testing the NFL Combine does, put them through all the same, rooms and things like that. So I think it's a great opportunity for those guys, the program, Jimmy, and all those guys over there and what they got going on. That's actually where I ran into Coach Rez at. So we spent this past February working together side by side. Me leading the offense and him assisting me with that offense, as a part of him scouting some of the talent that we had here on our team this year. So it was a great opportunity to be able to get back out there and kind of be a part of all that again. I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff, but it'll probably pop up here sooner or later. It's a million things, but those are the three main things I'd say that are the biggest part of what I do.
So I want to talk about the scouting combine real quick, and I want to bring up an individual that's very close to you and I, and Joel Zellum.
Yes.
Just a great athlete, somebody that you got to coach, and then on the flip side, then you ended up playing with him in arena. So talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, Joel. At this point, I tell everybody that's my big little brother. Great guy, awesome guy. He's definitely on his way. Very special talent, man. Very special talent all around athlete. In fact, we came up with the name the Big Athlete. Something kind of as a runoff of my brand or my slogan in Superior Specialist, as you see on my hat, it says "Be an Athlete." That's my brand, and so he wanted to come up with something there. And I think the best way to market himself was to just title himself as he is. So that's how we came up with the Big Athlete thing. But no, Joel, man, he's a special guy, special player. Immediately stood out. Outside of who he is as a person, very very good character kid, very genuine guy. Outside of his character and things like that, his gameplay on the field, his football IQ, and just his attentiveness to his craft was something that stood out to not only myself but Coach Rez, Coach Jay Wilson, who's also a part of the National Scouting Combine. He's the director of player personnel for the event, just like he is for the minors. So we're blessed to have him as well. But like I said, Joel, man, he just stood out. And he came in as a defensive lineman. After looking at all his information and stuff like that, we saw that he, formerly played O-line. So we wanted to also take a look at that, because what we do here at the Combine is we want to expand every part of your game as far as your abilities. So if you're a two-way guy, if you could play both sides of the ball, we want to showcase either side of the ball, and let the scouts decide what just your strongest suit is, and where they want to kind of scout, or how they want to kind of scout you going forward from there. So coming in as a strong defensive guy coming out of college, gave him a couple flashes at offense, and then we moved him in the backfield, gave him a couple looks at fullback, and then bumped him out to tight end, gave him a couple looks. Of course, it was all, fresh to him. So he was kind of hesitant at times, but, that was to be expected, bringing him over, doing something he hadn't done in years, and some things that he had dreamt of doing. What big guy doesn't dream of, carrying the ball, or getting a pass down to him. So, that was something kind of in the works from way back in February, and it all came to play out, in the season, with him having 2 receptions, and with him carrying the ball a couple times and even getting a touchdown off of one of them. So, I told him the only thing left to do now is kick a field goal and throw a touchdown, and you the guy. You know what I mean? So, but it's you don't find that too often in your bigger athletes and guys like that. So special kid, man, special kid. Has a bright future, whether it be in arena or any higher level. He's fresh into it. He's fresh into it, and I tell him all the time. We talk all the time. Tell him all the time, man. What you were able to do this year was very special. Not only come in and win it all your first year as a pro, but be able to touch all those different positions as a rookie. So. Like you see there, man, that's my big little brother. So I've been waiting a long time to, share that moment with him, and, celebrate obviously another championship. So what better way to, share that moment with my brother, So
I had to laugh at this, Vost. I didn't realize that I make a cameo there in the backside, but
oh yeah, my boy, hey, gotta get in there, man. Gotta get in there.
So I got one more question for you, and then I'm gonna open the floor up to the boys. They have some questions for you. What was it like coming back? 2-part for you. What was it like coming back to Wheeling through the fans, and then you have to tell me about that entrance in the championship game.
Man, well, coming back to Wheeling, man, once Coach Rez gave me the call and kind of threw the offer out there on the table, it was just being offered the opportunity to come back to a place that, one of the few places that's probably treated me the best in my lifetime. That was awesome. So to come back and just be a part of it all, man, it was great. Tell people all the time. In fact, I brag about Wheeling. That's like a second home to me at this point. and up until now, I had only been up there once. So it was amazing to be back. It felt like it did before in 2019, but just a little bit better. Like I said, this year, it really felt like a movie. Just driving up week to week. Hell, the drives even felt shorter. So I loved it, man. I loved it, and that entrance during the championship. First of all, I just want to say I thank you to all the fans for considering me a fan favorite, because that was just amazing, to walk into the season like that. But to finish it off as y'all's fan favorite, and walk down through the crowd with the spotlight on me, hop the wall and slam the hammer to, kind of start the night off and set the tone for the game. That was real special. And to have my mom there in attendance, for that, on one of the second biggest nights of the season for her and I think that was special too. She wasn't able to make it to the last championship in Wheeling. My dad made it, so she was able to make it this time, and that just made the night even more special.
Right. So we're just gonna go right down the line here. Sean, go ahead first, buddy.
Well, I have several questions, but
Shoot.
can you share with us how you first got involved, in football in general?
In
What
football
inspired
in
you?
general. I mean, don't wait on me. No. Actually,
There's a Pee Wee Prevost there somewhere.
I gotta get the frame fixed, but
Oh, there it is.
hold on. There we go. Hold on. There we go. So that was my first go at football right there. Crazy, right?
Did you have anybody that inspired you to get into that, or was it just
That was
something?
04. Anybody that inspired me to get into football? Starting out, I had no actual inspiration, no one that I was looking at in particular. I was just a kid who loved sports. Grew up playing soccer, a little bit of t-ball, baseball here, or whatever my dad put me in that I was up for. And actually, I remember one day randomly, my dad came home, asked me. He said, "Hey man, you what you think about playing football?" Sure, why not? Played everything else, So sign me up for football right here. First season, 04. Went out there, had no clue what I was doing. He actually took me out in the middle of the street, front of the house, and was like, "We're gonna practice throwing and catching, throwing and catching, throwing and catching." And then, ended up getting into the season, going on with that. And one day I just went out in the backyard, grabbed a football, had a little Walmart tee, started kicking, and I was all right with that. I mean, like I said, had a soccer background, and so to me, it was just kicking a ball. And originally, I played quarterback and running back. Still kind of kept all of those positions going all the way up until now. I'm kind of breaking them down now. I'm not doing as much as I was not even 5 years ago. But yeah, so got in there, and that's kind of where kicking came to start. I was the only one in rec league kicking field goals, so that was pretty cool. And then that went on to throughout middle school. Got up to high school, tried out, won the quarterbacks. Then we had kicking tryouts, and I was like, "Oh, I know how to kick." So started kicking. Played about 3-4 games on JV, then got pulled up to varsity. Varsity coach just saw me kicking, and he was like, "Hey, I guess we need a guy that can kick the ball down the field." So ended up getting pulled up to varsity freshman year. Had a great experience, and then come back sophomore year, we go and win state. We go 10-2, and I'm a sophomore in high school, kicker, quarterback, whatever. And then so got my first taste at a championship, and then just kind of been chasing it ever since. Went on from there to Hampton University. Played 5 seasons there. Didn't win any championships there, but won quite a few big games, a couple classics. Had a great experience there. Went All-American my sophomore year at Hampton, so got this here for that. That's pretty cool. And then after Hampton, went on, started coaching. Well, actually, no, I'm going a little fast. After Hampton, graduated, started working a little bit. went and tried out for the Richmond Rough Riders. Buddy of mine, Ricky Seegers, I competed against him in high school and college as well. He kicked at ODU, and then later at Richmond. Yeah, he played in the 2017 championship. I believe it was the APF championship here in Richmond. They played against some team from Florida, but
Florida Terrapins.
Yeah, Tarpons. Yep, sure was. Because they had the interception at the end of the game, but saw him win his first arena championship. That was my first time even seeing or knowing anything about an arena championship. Beforehand, I had gone to a couple games. It was cool. Didn't know anything about it. That particular year, the game before the championship, the team allowed myself and my trainer Todd Covington to come down on the field and run like a little coaching clinic or kicking clinic rather at the end of the game. So that was my first time touching an arena field. So it just kind of all built on top of each other. 2018, since he ended up tearing his ACL after hitting the Uno in the championship game, he tells me, "Hey man, why don't you go try out? I'm not coming back." So went, tried out. Ended up having to compete against TC Stevens. Great guy, great kicker. Long time vet in the game, been doing this thing. So shout out to him. Glad to see him back on the field as well. But he was the original kicker for Richmond Rough Riders. Don't know what the situation was there, but they still let me come out, kick, compete, and so they kept me on the team. Went through all the drills and everything. They more so considered me an athlete, overall athlete. So in my time with the Richmond Rough Riders, I played a little bit of quarterback when our quarterback left before we got Arvell Nelson, and then eventually Robert Kent. But so I shared a little bit of time doing that, playing slot receiver, kick return, and of course I kicked. I snapped in the game. Only thing I didn't do was hold and block somebody or go sack the quarterback. So that was a fun season, fun experience. Although I only played in one game. Got to the championship, lost. Person I lost to was the person I just won the championship with, so that was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool spin on this whole football journey. My first year as a pro, I lose to the guy that I just won with, so that's pretty cool. So then we fast forward. Richmond leaves, comes out to Wheeling. Get offered the opportunity to come back out. Come out, I'm the guy there, not really sharing the spot with anyone else. So it was cool. Come out. Finally got to wear the number 0. Been wanting to do that for a long time. So that was cool. And then we go undefeated, win the championship. In the process, I meet Noel Devine. I still think that's one of the coolest things. Sean Oakman, Larry Beavers, and all those guys, it's not every day you get to run into those names, right? So that's special to be a part of. But we go win it all, get my first pro championship experience. Then for a while there, I was just coaching varsity out in Surrey. Did football, soccer, and helped out with basketball, running the clock, things like that. Went on to do some semi-pro a couple years with one of my good coaches that I'm real good friends with. A couple of my other buddies played through this program, Virginia Crusaders, great semi-pro program, won plenty of championships out this way. So I was blessed enough to win a championship with them in 2022. We went 10-0, another undefeated season there. So that was pretty cool. I said go on from there. Now I'm coaching college ball. Been at Virginia Union for 4 years. Every year since I've been there, it's been a great season. We were finally able to pull it all off this past season. By losing one regular season game, but we ended up getting a chance to get our get back in the championship against the team we lost to earlier in the season. So that was pretty cool to do that, make another mark in history. And shout out to the team, shout out to the staff, the players, especially my guys, my specialists. They've been top notch since I got there. They, like I tell people all the time, they make my job easy. Not only is this what I do for a living and every single day, so it gets easier, but they're a great group of guys. Coming in, some of the most underrated guys for the level of talent that they have. Just coming in, proving everybody wrong every year, day in and day out. And I know they give me a little bit of credit for it, but they're the ones that go out there and do it. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's been a great experience since we've been there. Pushing to go back again this year. Hopefully get back in the D2 playoffs. I've never gone when I was in college, so just to even be a part of playoff experience is special. And then here we are now with the Miners. Obviously coaching led me to college, and then with the combine, national scouting combine, and then now, like I said, here we are back here with the Miners, and hoping to do it all over again there too.
Hell yeah, man. John?
Getting old though, but it's fun. It's still fun. Still fun. Hey, it makes for, I think Charles said this to Joel, this just continues to make for a good bedtime story.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, John.
All right, so I know you talk a lot about this on social media, about your why.
Yeah.
So give me that for coaching and playing. What's the why?
My why, it's crazy as I look around the room. No, it's crazy to me because I was that small, undersized, underrated kid that was told a lot of what he couldn't, shouldn't, wouldn't do. So that kind of sparked this fire in me at an early age. I don't know, it's weird. A quote my dad always told me, imagine what you could accomplish if you never feared failure. So that's just kind of been with me. If failure is not an option, what would I do? So dang, you got me wrapped up in my mind. Throw that question at me again so I can get back on track, because that was
Your why. Like why
my
do
why. My
Yeah.
why. So again, my why is, it starts there with being that kid and knowing that feeling. Um Always wanting to be a winner, always being around them. My why. Second, my right here, I have this tattoo here. I don't know if you guys can see it. PFTWC. There's a little field goal and a teardrop there. Because like I said, JV player, varsity coach saw something in me, freshman, small guy. I was just getting going with this kicking thing. I wasn't anywhere near how I am now, so I wasn't anything that would have stood out then. But he saw something, called me Mighty Mouse back then. That was one of my first many names or whatever. But Coach Vic Williams, just like I said, play for those who can't. It was our team motto, our community thing. And that meant, play for those that come, play for those who want to and can't, play for those who will never have the opportunity, play for those who had it and are no longer here. Play for something bigger than just yourself. And that's always been kind of like my driving force. Then I go coach at Surrey, their thing was NLMB, never leave my brother. That's big to me. And it makes you think of the guys that are in your circle, the people in general that are in your circle. And in mine, I have a big circle, big outer family, but I got a small inner family, and so that's been always big to me. And then just being in this line of coaching and getting to uh, experience, just being able to assist someone in their development and see them go achieve their goals. Even those who are the most doubted or have whatever hangups that they have. I've coached kids with mental issues. Where they struggle with different things, and people count them out a lot. So, and I've seen the downside of that. I got friends who I used to run the field with, and now they're not even able to barely walk and things like that. So it's like my why has a lot to do with my beginning and that feeling of just always kind of being, oh yeah, you're okay, yeah, whatever, just all right, you know. kind of always being apart, but not really apart. So that's why I said being considered a fan favorite, that blew my mind. I was just like, wow, like me, So, but yeah, that's a huge part of my why. I mean, I'm sure there's so much more that I can't really put into words, but there's just the people that I interact with, that I get a chance to meet along the way. That's a part of my why. That like I said, adds to the story I'm able to tell for the rest of my life. Great. I mean, awesome experiences. Some of the best stories to tell. So that's also part of my why. Like I said, I got a small inner family, but a huge outer family. I've kept up with some of you guys for years. When I know sometimes it's only for a season, and then guys kind of go about their way. But this is one of the reasons why I brag about Wheeling and the people of Wheeling. Not just the football that I experienced, but everything else. Like Tito's. I told everybody about Tito's down here. Like, man, they got this pizza dog. They like, bro, you really going, you bragging about this hot dog or whatever. I know, whatever. But yeah, nah, they got different things going on up there, man. It's a special area, special people. So yeah, and it's not just Wheeling. Like I said, everyone that I've come in contact with, some of the coaches that I now do business with, giving me an opportunity to travel the country, um, touch different parts of the map and experience different places. Um, I got the opportunity to finally go back to Hawaii last April. I wish I could do it again this year. Just things didn't fall in place. I was actually supposed to be leaving in 2 weeks ago, but got the opportunity to go back to Hawaii. Just doing a kicking camp out there with Chris Hughesby for Phase 3 kicking. Um, Invited me as a guest coach on his staff. Go out there, help him out, and it had been about 10 years since I've been back, so I was able to go back, give back to that community, and then go visit my old neighborhood, go see my old house, kind of get the layout of what's going on there. Ran into my old landlord. So it's like everything just keeps coming back full circle. So it's whatever the reason is special. Whatever the reason for why is special. Do know, coming out to West Virginia, the last thing I want to add on that, my buddy Mike Wilson, that I had come up for the last 4 weeks of the 2019 season. Before that season started, I wasn't sure if I was coming out there, and the one question that he asked me was why not, and I didn't have an answer because I got too many answers as to why. So there's that.
And I think the sprint you'd be running with the kids after the games, I think that has a lot to do with the fan favorite.
Man, I listen. I barely have anything left in the tank, but to them, it's the world, and you can see it in their faces, you can hear it in their laughter. I mean, it's a special opportunity. I got to remember who I am in that moment. And I'm not bigger than that moment. I'm never going to be bigger than that moment. If I ever see anyone acting in that way, I'm gonna remind them, hey, we're not here for that. You know what I mean? I've also been that kid who's gone up to that pro guy and got kind of washed to the side, and that hurts, man. That sticks with you for a long time. That can do some very traumatic things to a kid, whether people believe it or not. And so I'll never want to be the reason for anything like that down the line, affecting their life, but not even going that deep. Just to be able to share that moment with those kids is special, just to be one of the selected players that they want to even share that moment with. I think that's pretty cool. We got over 30 guys on the team, and one of them gets picked to run with the kids every game. And a lot of them remember me from 5 years ago. Of course, they've all grown up now. Some of them bigger than I am, but they still want to get out there. Hey, man, you getting old? You still got it? Yeah, But it's special, man, and that's a part of my why there too. Play for those who can't. Right now, a lot of them can't do it at this level, or maybe even at the level that they're at. I can't tell you how many kids have come up to me and say, hey, man, I'm not big enough yet, but my dad's gonna sign me up for rec league, and I want to do this and I want to do that. In fact, I think I posted something 2019. Our team doctor, his son was down on the field, has a little shirt off, and wanted to race me. And I remember him saying, "Hey, man, I want to be like you when I grow up." And I was like, "Nah, like you want to be better than me when you grow up." As long as you keep, believing in yourself and you keep pushing for the things that you want to achieve, they'll fall in place. But you're already in the right places right now at the right time, so you just kind of keep being around good people, keep doing good things, and you'll get good, a good outcome.
That's
But
why
that
the
moment
next
was
mayor.
pretty special. What's that?
I said that's why you're the next mayor of Wheeling.
Hey, that would be something nice to add to the resume. That would be something awesome to add to the resume. Maybe for a day, maybe for a week or so. Then I get
There
to
you
keep
go.
that.
Jordan.
All right, so while watching you in the crazy drunk quarter that was in every single game, it seemed like you had a lot of different types of kicks during kickoff that you like to pull out of the bag. Is there a particular one all year that you liked more than the others?
Well, can't say there was one that I like more than any of the others, other than the ones that obviously we were successful on, which were a lot of them. But if I had to pick one, I'd say the pop ups that we did, where we were able to knock the ball loose and come down with them. I believe I had two in one game, um, and then I think another one later on or earlier in that season. In the season, I believe I had three total. But those probably would be my favorite, other than obviously trying for the Uno. Um, but nothing really too special that stood out. What I do like is the fact that Coach Rez is very open to trying a bunch of different kicks and opening up the game even more. I know that was an experience that I didn't get to necessarily have with the Rough Riders. Although I had more Unos then than I did this season, which still wasn't a lot then, but um, lower ceiling, totally different from Richmond Coliseum. That's a whole different story. But um, I enjoy the openness of having the basically being able to be comfortable out there, knowing that I was able to open up my bag whenever was necessary, and I wasn't really confined or restricted to one thing or another. That does make the game a little tougher.
Well, we were in warm ups, and he said, "Hey, go try a drop kick." Like,
Yeah. So that's the thing. I do drop kicks all the time. And I pretty much had dialed them in that arena already. I mean, I was knocking them down. I think out of maybe 12 drop kicks in pregame, I missed maybe 4. Right, not bad odds. Everything was lined up perfect in the game. Snap went high. Maybe I over anticipated how high it was going, but things were a little shaky at times in the season. So I just went with what I was prepared with. So I jumped, got up there, and it kind of threw off the timing with coming down, getting the drop, getting the ball off. I understand they didn't really rush the ball all that much, but I'm not paying attention to the rush. Once that ball is released, I'm paying attention to the ball and then everything within my bubble. So I know everybody would probably say, oh, well, you had all day. Well, you're also operating off your inner clock. So you're not really, and you shouldn't be looking at anything but your bubble in the ball, right? So dropped it a little inside, cut it, went wide. Lived to see another kick. Wish I could have got that down because it's one of the only things I haven't done as far as kicking in the arena game is a drop kick and an actual field goal. So hey, still got room out there to improve. Still got room out there to knock one down. So won't sweat that one too much.
go ahead, Chris.
Anthony, I think, I've obviously had a lot of big moments from your playing days, but I still think the coolest moment that I saw this year wasn't in the 60 minutes of playing a game. It was being able to see you come out with your mom in the tunnel there
Oh,
and her slamming down the hammer there. Can you just tell me the emotions and the experience you had with being able to run out of there with your mom?
man, I tell you, being able to share that moment with her was, very, very special. Still trying to put words to it, man. Especially with it all coming together last minute. I mean, super last minute. it was special. She's still on an all-time high from it. She's still rolling off of it, talking about it all the time. And I actually got her a custom shirt with that picture on it, signed and everything. So she's got that to wear wherever she wants to go with it. But man, that was an amazing experience. Like I said, came together last minute. Went to go drop some stuff off to her for Mother's Day before I hit the road to come on up that Friday and show up. And she's sitting there and she's kind of giving me this look, and I'm like, what is it? So she's like, I want to go to the game. And I'm like, well, go to the game. I'm thinking, oh, she's going to drive up, meet me up there because she knows my schedule and all that. And she's like, no, I'm riding with you. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, cool. So she runs upstairs, and in the middle of all of this, she gets on the phone with her boss. Hey, I want to go with my son to his game. Cool. So she said, all right, you go ahead. You get Monday off too for, travel back. Cool. So she goes, runs upstairs, packs her bag, throws some stuff in there, and gets in the car, and we hit it. Drive 6 hours, come on out to Wheeling, and then the whole way I'm sending messages. I'm giving everyone the new update. Hey, mom's coming. Blah blah blah. Trying to get her a ticket, trying to get this, trying to get that. And everything worked out, came together. Coach Rez was a huge help with everything. And then the last thing to ask was, hey, it's Mother's Day, and since I kind of come out on my own at the end anyway, you think it'd be cool if my mom ran out with me? I think that'd be pretty special. And he was like, of course, that's almost like the perfect idea. So me and my mom kind of came up with a quick plan. All right, this is what we're gonna do when we come out. I ain't gonna say the plan went left, but I did tell her, this is gonna be a different experience for you. I've gotten used to it to a certain extent now, but everything's cool till you come out the tunnel, and it's just lights and sound and smoke, and you kind of gonna have a little moment. And she did, man. She came out, and I think once the lights hit her, she heard the noise and kind of couldn't see anything else out in front of her. She just kind of lost it, took that hammer up there and did her thing. And but no, it was good to see her have that moment. Good to see her kind of share that experience with me. I know um she really enjoys watching me go out there and do what I do. So to be able to come out the tunnel and kind of enter into that night the way that I do, I know that was really special for her. And like I said, we just won a championship with Virginia Union 8 months ago, and she was there for that. So to have her come out and be there for this arena championship, that's also pretty special.
So what's next? What's next for you? What's on the list of Prevost?
All right. So what's next? I got next week, actually this week coming up, I leave Tuesday, Wednesday to go to Minnesota to help Chris Hughesby out with his 4-day camp that he's having at St. John's University out in Minnesota, excuse me. Go out there, so we stay on the campus, and do like a bunch of fundamental training, some classroom activities, things like that. Get back to some of the high school guys, some college transfers that kind of looking to develop and get some exposure, go forward. So that's coming up. So I'll leave Wednesday. I gotta actually leave there a day early, so I'll be leaving Friday night. Get back Saturday morning. We have a football camp at Virginia Union. Um, Before that camp, since we had one kicker show up to our last camp, but we missed out on him. I'll actually have to get there a little earlier that morning to run his evaluation. Then I'll help out with the other camp that we got going on there. Like I said, lastly, Hawaii was on the trip, or on the calendar for my last trip. I'm still trying to get some things worked out with that, but probably won't end up going to that one. And after all that's said and done, going to 30 straight days in August. Preseason camp, fall camp, Virginia Union, and first game is, I believe, September 2nd, Kentucky State. So yeah, and then I'll be in it from start to finish on that. Hopefully, I come out with another ring. Hopefully, we come out with another ring. That'd be pretty good, pretty cool for everybody. And then back to spring ball and seeing where I'm at this time next year. February, I'll be at the combine, and by March, I'll know what's going on as far as me putting the pads back on.
Do you want to? I mean, is it time to hang him up yet, or do you still have the edge?
Still got it. Still got it, man. I think this season was the ultimate test. When I say I was out there fresh, man, I was out there fresh. I ain't hit a weight since, man. So I was just out there off just the raw me, and I was able to do a lot of things I didn't think, I was still not capable of doing, but I kind of shocked myself. That was kind of a great test to gauge where I'm at in my athleticism and how much I've developed and matured in my game, to get back out there and actually do it again in a game time experience. So yeah, I got some, wheels still turn, fuel still burn a little bit, but yeah, man, right now I'm having fun with it. So while I'm still able, I'm still gonna get out there and do it. But now I gotta I got my agent, so to speak, my wife. So I gotta, do a little bit of consulting and whatnot, and negotiating on some deals and see what we can come up with. I know we talk about it all the time. She loves to see me do, what I'm doing. In fact, she's a huge part of my why. I've been with her since high school, so she's seen this entire thing come to play, and been a huge part of my motivation to get all this done. So, got to run everything through her definitely now. She's allowed this. She's allowed all of this to happen. In fact, my office is her childhood bedroom, so I've now taken over. So, I kind of owe it all back to her. So, depending on what she says, depending on where we are with baby boy, with Andre, that'll kind of tell everything. Also, coming up on last year here at Virginia Union, we may get an extension. We may end up going somewhere else at the end of this season. So that also comes into play. My location and where I'll be at or what I'll be doing at that time. So that's a huge part of it. And of course, I'll pretty much have an idea of everything by March, February next year. But as of right now, everything's great. Everything's still good. I think I'm still good to come back to Wheeling next year. I'll check on that. No, I should be. She definitely wants to come back.
Oh yeah,
game and stuff like that. So, and I know you guys all can't wait to meet Andre and see everybody all over again, and hopefully we can get the whole family up there. I know her aunt doesn't live too far from West Virginia, so hopefully we can get everybody to come up that way.
So let's talk about this. This is so
championship. We got to. Hey, I'm telling you, that gotta go in one of them. That gotta go in one of them glass cases in West Benco. I'm telling you, they gotta put that in one of them cases in the lobby. Somebody gotta make a call. That picture gotta go in there.
Chris, we're gonna have to sneak that in.
That's 2-time history. I'm telling you that. That's called the champion sip right there. had to do it. Put all the rings on. I had to, had to.
I'm just laughing because Robinson's just dumping it right on your head.
Yeah, no, because I turn around and I'm getting ready to take a sip anyway, and I turn around and I see the camera right in my face. I don't know if he's recording, taking pictures or whatever. So I just start doing my thing, and then I start feeling like, what is this? And then I realized it's beer because I can smell it. So I realized it's beer, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, we in the middle of celebrating. It don't even matter. And then just went from there. And I think after I finished doing that, Joel came right behind him and poured a full can on top of my head. And I just started throwing beer back at everybody. It was a whole time. So I started with 4 beers in my hand and finished one and threw about 3. So I think I managed to save one. It's up there somewhere.
No, I see it up there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got where is it? I got the Miners beer and the Nailers beer up there.
There you go.
Man,
that's awesome.
I had to get them.
Well, Boast, I appreciate you coming on, brother. I mean,
Yes,
appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and chat up with us for a little bit. Definitely have to get you back on with more people on later on. But
Sure.
where can everybody follow you at and stuff? Keep up on your journey.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at superior_specialist. my training page, but I'm also on there a bunch. And Facebook, Anthony Next Level Prevost. Twitter, at Anthony Prevost 16. No T on the end of the Prevost. And that's where you can find me at. Twitter wouldn't let me put it, or X, excuse me, wouldn't let me put that in there. But so those are 3 places you can follow me, find me, and we can chat.
Once again, thanks for hanging out, Boast. This has been the Boys from Wheel podcast. That's Anthony Prevost. We're the boys. We'll see you next time.
All right.